What's up, y'all? Thanks for tuning in, and for those who watched my last video, welcome back. Now, I drew my left brow off camera, but that right brow that's not so fleeky, we're going to be demonstrating on that brow. We need it nice and fleeky like the other side. So now I'm going to be going in with my AIRSPUN translucent powder on a e.l.f. foundation brush, and I'm just going to dab some of that all across my brow just to get rid of some of those oils that I create throughout the day around my brow area, just to make sure also that the pomade is as pigmented as possible, honey. Next, we're going to take our Real Technique spoolie, and I'm going to brush my brows upward and outward. Next, we're going to take our e.l.f. lock-on liner and brow cream in medium brown, and we're just going to start lining our brows with the angled small brush. I always like to start underneath my arch because I feel like that's most important to the brow, underneath the arch and creating the tail. I like my tail very sharp and very defined. That's why I start on the end of my brow first, because I feel like the end of the brow is what's most important. Getting that arch in order, honey, is also what's important. And another thing, ladies, you want to make sure that your brows are groomed before you start drawing them on, because if you try to draw on brows without them being groomed, honey, look like the Wild Wild West. But anyways, I'm just filling in my brows now, and what I did was I went on top of my arch and I just connected it with the bottom part that I had already created. And now I'm just adding more product and filling in my brows even more. Now I'm just creating more of a depth line at the top just to make it look darker, and also doing the same at the bottom. I like my lines very straight. I like my brows very bold. That's why you guys will see me adding a lot of product and making sure that it is dark enough to my liking. Just adding more product and getting that in very defined how I like it, and very dark. Now at the beginning, I try not to touch my brows too much at the beginning because I like them to look natural and give it like that ombre effect. And I'm just brushing them out and blending them out just so they look good. Blend, 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 honey. Just adding more so it can be dark. And you see my tail, before I even conceal them, they're already sharp at the end. That's how I like my brows. I like them sharp. I like them on point. I like them precise. And I'm just blending, blending, blending. Next, we're going to go in with our LA Girl Pro Concealer, and this is in the shade Warm Sand. With a small, flat, Wet n Wild brush, I'm just going to start concealing my brows. Now, I like to also, exactly where I started to draw on my brows is exactly where you'll see me starting to conceal my brows. Right underneath the arch. I'm sorry you guys can't see, but I'm about to move it out the way right now. See, I started underneath my arch, and now I'm dragging it down to my tail just to cut it off and make it look a little more sharp. I also like to drag my concealer down for blending purposes. It's much easier to blend once your concealer is already like laid down there. So now I'm going to start concealing the entire bottom, and I'm going to get that line as straight as possible. Like, I need it straight, honey. And just connect that, and I bring that right down. I bring that concealer right down, just so, like I said, when you're blending, it is much easier. And I like it to look very full coverage. See, that concealer looks very full coverage. I use like enough concealer. I don't use a lot, but I use enough. Like, some people use a very small amount of concealer when they're concealing their brows, and you can barely tell they did anything. Yes, honey. Yes, 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 yes. So now we're going to go in with the LA Girl Pro Concealer in the color Toffee to outline the top of our brows. Now, I like to get a color as close as possible to me and my foundation, just so when I am doing a full face, it looks as natural as possible on top of my brows. I don't like to see that white line that some people have at the top because they used a concealer that was either too light or they didn't blend it enough. Now I'm just outlining the top of my brows and making sure that that line is as straight and defined as possible. And I'm just cutting off some product just to make sure that that thing is flaky. Yep. Blend, blend, blend. Yes. And now I'm just cutting off some of that product just sharp, honey. Yes, just to get it sharp just like that. I love sharp brows at the end. It just looks so clean. So next I'm just taking this Wet n Wild eyeshadow brush and I'm just blending out all of that concealer that I just laid down to outline my brows. I like to clean up the top first because on the brush you will have some of that product from the top, and when you go underneath it, it will help blend out so much more with that lighter color underneath. And I'm just smoothing in the beginning of my brows just to make them look natural. Blend, 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 honey, blend, blend, blend. Yes, I'm just gonna go on top with my finger just to better blend. Yes. Next, I'm gonna go on with my Wet n Wild highlighter, and I am just going to highlight underneath my arch just to make it pop a little bit more. I always like to do this because in my pictures, I just feel like my eyebrows pop like pop for the heavens, honey. When I apply highlighter underneath my brows, it just gives it such a bomb look. Like it just looks so shimmery, and it looks so like oh honey, I can't get over those brows. I can't. I love doing my brows, but they usually take me a while, honey. But thank you guys so much for watching, honey. Those brows are fleeky. If you enjoyed this video and you thought it was very helpful, give me a big like, a big thumbs up, like and subscribe, and don't be afraid to comment. Bye guys.